Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the Inside Spurs channel. Hope you're looking after yourselves and enjoying this pretty miserable looking Tuesday. Champions League's back tonight. Obviously, I'm recording this as I think we're about 15 minutes into the Milan Newcastle game, and I think Milan are looking definitely the team that's on top at the moment. I say that now, Newcastle somehow win like 4-0 and I look like an idiot. But regardless, talking a little bit about Spurs, a little bit around transfer news around Gio Lo Celso and potentially him wanting out already. We also do have some interesting quotes from Thomas Frank yesterday when he was on Monday Night Football on Sky Sports. And he was talking about Ivan Toney. I do want to talk a little bit about that as well. But I'm going to talk about Gio Lo Celso first. And this came from Fijas Football, who said that Gio Lo Celso has made it clear his desire to leave Spurs in January following his limited playing time this season. The midfielder has his agents working hard already to see his exit, with the move to Real Betis a priority. Now, let's think about it one of two ways. One, I mean, we're 5-6 games into the season already, and he was injured for the last game anyway. Didn't go to international break with Argentina because of injury. He stayed back in London to get it recovered. The game that he did play, that he started, was the Fulham League Cup game. And one thing I did notice is that when you've got quite a lot of the same midfielder on the pitch, Skip Højbjerg, who don't progress well with the ball, don't go forward with the ball very well, then you know, well, if you're the opposing team, you take away the one guy that can carry the ball forward as well as the one guy that can pick a pass, which is what they did. And he really struggled to really get past the constant press on him, whereas they kind of let the other two play because they thought, well, they're not going to pick a pass anyway. We'll put the pressure on the real guy, and they did that. It's difficult because obviously he plays in a position where, you know, potentially the player of the season so far, James Maddison, has been playing, and also we're not playing European football or anything this year, so I do see him having some game time, but not as much as maybe he would need or expect. So there's that. Now, I'm not saying this is obviously true because I think we're only a few games into the season. He's had an injury. I think time through into the autumn period where Maddison, might pick up a knock, might get suspended. He's been picking up a few bookings recently, so I've noticed that. Then Gio Lo Celso is going to be quite important. You never know if we're going to really truly need him to become James Maddison if Maddison misses games. So there's that. What I would say is if he does want to leave, then we need to look at this as he wants to leave. His agents are actively looking to get him to move on. I wouldn't be taking a loan deal. I'd be taking a purchase deal, a loan with an obligation to buy in the summer, something like that you're getting funds in, that you're going to need those funds to replace him. We talked about how, if we were to lose a Højbjerg, you have Bentancur, right? Massive upgrade, okay? Okay, well then if you move Lo Celso, then you need to replace Lo Celso, right? And I always think, what style of player would you want there? Now, I think Bentancur moves with the ball really well. We all know he does. He's a fantastic presser of the ball as well. We know that. You've got Pape Matar in that same style of player between them, which I think works really well. You've got Bissouma and Skip, which I think in the summer that needs to be upgraded. There needs to be someone sitting behind Bissouma who is similar style player to him, but also similar near level caliber player to him. And I think there's a big drop off between him and Skip. But you're looking at Maddison and Lo Celso being the left centre back number 8s. Do you go for more of a project number 8 where you can really sort of develop on him, really improve him? Because obviously we know with Ange we can get some proper coaching. Or do you go with someone like a Maddison who's more like ready to play right now? And I think if you're going into January with that idea, then maybe actually a project's not the worst thing in the world. He's going to get plenty of time to get trained up. You already look at how Mickey van der Ven's improved. He's had only a handful of games. He looks like he's already improved a lot. You look, Romero's improved this season. Destiny Udogie, you can tell every single game improves. Pedro Porro's definitely improved. You can tell the coaching is really there to improve these players. So that could be an option. It's obviously a bit cheaper as well, which I know we love. But also, coming in, you've got 6 months then till the start of next season where potentially we have European football. That's going to be really key. Now there might be some come through the ranks that we haven't been truly told about, but that remains to be seen. So anyway, we'll keep an eye on Lo Celso, but let's talk Thomas Frank and his comments on Monday Night Football. He said, we are a selling club. He's talking about Brentford. He said, we're a selling club. If the price is there, then it's something they're going to want to take. He said that he doesn't see that many players out there in the world that are better than Ivan Toney, which you're going to say is that manager. That's obviously a given. You're not going to be like, yeah, he's all right. I mean, we could probably get rid of him, to be fair, and we'll be fine. You're not going to say that. You're going to say you're going to big him up, try and keep that price nice and high because obviously you want to reinvest that money. I do see Brentford selling him. I do think they'll get a good price. I don't think they're going to get 85, 90 million if that's what they're thinking. Even with English tax, I think you're going to get 50 to 60 million. That's including English tax. Look, I'm on record saying that I'd like Ivan Toney personally. I think you've seen against those lower block teams, we pump balls into the box, put loads of crosses into the box. Having a guy who is good in the air gives you a different dynamic compared to a Son, who runs it behind, tricky, running the channels. It'd be good to have someone that's, kind of a bit of a physical presence. I'm not saying that that's the biggest thing that we need, that's the exact split, the player that we need, but I'm saying it's good to have that diversity in that attacker role. You look at left wing being kind of the same sort of player in Son and Solomon, tricky, loves to cut inside onto their right foot. It's nice now in the right wing, we've got obviously Kulusevski loves to cut inside on his left foot. You've got Brennan Johnson who loves to bomb it around the outside and use his rip-roaring pace. When you look at striker, Richie and Sonny, I guess you could say Sonny are different players. I don't know where we'll be in January when it comes to Richarlison, because there's games where you, like Sheffield United, goal and assist, love it, absolutely love it. And then there's games where he doesn't do anything. And that might be the trigger that we needed, a goal and assist to win the game, to not only get a point, but then to get 3 points, and it's down to him. Does that kick him on now into, a goal every other game? Something like that, where you're going to get somewhere between 15 and 20 goals a season for him, which is, it's something, right? Or does it kind of go the way it's been already? And that's the difficult thing. And you can't rest your laurels on thinking that it's going to take off. So if we come to January and it's kind of been a bit stop-start, goal here and there, nothing too wild, then I do think we're going to have to look at that position. Now, don't get me wrong, Alejo Veliz might come through and absolutely blow our socks off, potentially. You never know these things. He's been brought to the club for a reason. There's a talent there. But you can't rely on a Sonny who's in his 30s now. You've got to start planning ahead. And if you're going to go and get England's second best striker in Ivan Toney, can take a penalty, can link up play, can take a set piece if you need him to, great in the air, physical, quite quick, wins a lot of fouls. Potentially that might be it, especially when you go and play against those big boys, those big boys that are going to definitely, they're not going to have you having 65% possession. They're going to fight you 50-50 on possession front. And sometimes you're going to have to be getting out with get out of the jail with free cards, Monopoly. You're going to have to try and win a foul to get you up the pitch. And that's Ivan Toney to an absolute T. And we might see something come around in the next 6 months next few months, that a striker appears and we go, hang on, that might be right up Angie's street. Now, Ivan Toney might not be anything to do with Angie, might not really rate him. But when we talk about other strikers on the market, there really isn't much out there that are ready to go right now, who have shown in the last few years quality, who have scored a lot of goals. Not as much as Ivan Toney has. And he's done it in the league that we play in the city that we play in as well. So I don't know. We'll have to keep an eye, but I think that's going to rumble on quite a bit more he's going to return to training at Brentford now. So that I think will start to rumble a little bit more towards really Christmas time. But anyway, guys, that's in the video. I hope you did enjoy it. Drop a like on the video if you did. Hit me in the comment section below. Look, you've got the Thomas Frank comments about Ivan Toney. You've got the Ivan Toney situation as well. Have you changed your mind on it? What do you think of it? You've got the Gio Lo Celso situation. Do you think you sell him? And if you do, where and what kind of player would you want in that sort of position behind Maddison? You let me know. I'm interested to see what you guys think. Subscribe to the channel if you are new and hit the bell notification for more. But anyway, guys, that's the end of the video, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care, guys.